And the last one for an all-standard simul? Yep, it's going to be an all-standard play simul, the last one there. Blue Jay 22-1. What is the significance of that? Alright, I think we're ready to go here. Hopefully we have an honest crew of 12 players here. And let's just have a little fun. It's an early morning for me, once more. 6:13 a.m. Those of you who are here, you're awesome. Let's get rolling. Alright, Blue Jay, let's see what you got. Let's try d4. And mix it up as usual. A d4 game, an e4 game, a Sicilian, French, a modern, I guess. d5, Caro Kann. Why not? All right, what do we throw? What do we throw at Pat? Let's throw an e4 at him. Okay, let's go with a win-a-war. Knight f6. I guess let's go for an e5 game. I could put a pawn in my 4th rank as well. And let's meet a d4 with a d5. What haven't I done? Had a lot of e4 replies. Let's try Scandinavian. And I've already played knight f6 and d5 against this. Let's go with d6. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that's close to the first pass with all games. Assuming everyone was timely. Alrighty. 3 nice guys. Let's see how nice this guy is to me. Sumborg. Thank you for the resub of 2 months in a row. Thank you, Sumborg. Alyekin's defense, huh? Really? Alright, we're gonna throw a quick little jab at that knight. See how he reacts. And what to do here? Let's start with e6. Alright. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with my queen. Alright, well, they obstructed the c-pawn, so let's try to control this pawn break. Knight f6 it is. Freak bet. 2 months in a row for you. Thank you. Freak bet. Appreciate the support. Let's see what white throws at me now. A Scotch or a Roy Lopez. Let's start with the knight f3. Knight c3 as well. Alrighty. e6. Nimzo Indian land in this one. Alright, I'm not going to go into some inline. I'm just going to play knight c3. I think I'm recalling maybe Pat asking me at some point something about the Alekhine, like maybe why don't I play it more or something like that, or suggesting I play it. So I'm assuming that he knows his stuff. Alright, well this feels pretty uncommon. I'm considering a quick d5 strike because it would hit with the fork and do a good job of breaking up that pawn duo. I mean, are they trying to scholars, maybe? Is that what white has on the cards? Huh. Well, let's give that a shot. Why not? Alrighty. we're going to stop any ideas of knight b5 and converging on f7. So we have an advanced French here. Go fix mix. Congratulations. And thank you for 1 year. Golden badge for you. Appreciate the support, Go Fix Mix. Big supporter of both Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, I think that time that I did, what was it? I did a video showing like the top 100 YouTube supporters or something like that. You were on that list. That name definitely sticks out. All right. What's the plan here? Okay, well, okay, here's what we're doing. We're playing in the center. We're going to try to prevent d4. And I'm going to do something a little weird. I'm going to allow knight g5 and play a sharp move if knight g5 is played, I'm gonna reply in a very odd way. All right, so they're preventing d5. I wonder if I could get a little crazy like this. Just to kick the knight away and then plant my pawn on d5. Don't like doing this to get this move in because of the move e5. I could try some roundabout way to support d5, but I don't know. Let's just be weird. Be weird. All right, let's put the knight on c6. All right, so you're taking. Alrighty, wolf tooth. I could take with the queen, but my bishop wants to develop. Not used to seeing that move. Knight c3 and then g4 stuff. So I like that my bishop now has a straight shot at the knight. If he gets chased around enough, I don't necessarily have to create a new square for him. So let's just go e6. Mission accomplished with the Caro-Kann in that one. Establish a pawn on d5. And make sure you get that e6 move in. Oh, excuse me, make sure you get that queen bishop working. Alright, so the plan here is to not be so quick to give up my dark square bishop. And soon you'll see how I react to a trio of pawns. I'm expecting e4 in that one. Alrighty. Challenging my pawn right away. Let's just develop. Alright, well, so much for knight g5. I was going to play bishop c5. I'm still going to play this. Yeah. Alright, knight f6. Let's go with c6. I don't have any interest in playing my bishop outside the pawn chain. I'm gonna fianchetto. And before I declare my queen knight, I'm gonna play a3. Alrighty, well, I could take or just back up. I somehow prefer to back up, but why exactly? Well, yeah, let's back up and see if white gives me the h-file. I'll definitely be taking towards the center. And I'll go a step further. I'll just swing the back completely around in that one. Alright, so that move's tells me that my opponent is maybe afraid of doubled c-pawns. Not so sure I would have even captured the knight, even if I could damage the queen side. My dark square bishop is valuable. What's this? Feels like a pretty free pawn. I mean, normally when you do this, you're trying to get in c3 and then d4 in one move. But the d pawn has already moved once. So, this is maybe like a delayed Evans Gambit? Some weird delayed Evans Gambit. Alright, what's the story with d5? Let's play in the center. See how the e pawn reacts. Alright. e4 is now weakened. Let's now develop and attack him. Knight f6 or declare my bishop. I don't know where he belongs yet. My light square bishop, that is. Let's go with knight here. And... okay, I'll fianchetto. So here's the plan. c5, b5, bishop b7. Those of you who tracking my YouTube channel might recall that Houdini's Pawn Storm video. I'm looking for those that type of setup. So normally I would like to wait to make this capture. Wait for the bishop to move, but I'm going to take right now because I'm heading for a specific structure. I want to get b4 in with tempo, and yeah, I have a setup in mind. So I think I've achieved nothing with this opening play, but I'm alright with that. How will black recapture? What could I do instead of just capturing? I could think about bishop f4. Yeah, let's do this. Let's still maintain that tension. And if bishop g4, I'll play bishop to e2. So I could play back, or if I go here, then this pin might be annoying. So I might be quite alright with bishop e7. I think that this is best. It may strike some as conservative or passive, but I am up a pawn. I'm still developed. And I'm just, I don't want any aggressive, I don't want to have to work against any pin. So let's put a knight in the center. Castles. What are my other candidate moves here? Now let's get castles in. And okay, let's get my bishop here. So this knight might eventually take up this post. So let's do that. Happy to see that move, because I could take this in one move, similar to what my opponent's able to do in one of the games. This game here, in fact. So let's swing the back completely around. I'm going to grab some queenside space. And now before I even think about castling, I think I want to throw some heat on the e5 pawn. Let's do it. Alright, well, I want to make sure this knight stays put. So I want to maintain a pawn on e5. I want to make sure he's not chased away. d6 it is. Where's that knight going? I could exchange queens and force white to go uncastled. But instead of that, I'm going to just develop and I think this move will either force some concession. The bishop will have to pin my knight and then give himself up. F3, which is ugly, or this, which gives me a nice pawn presence in the center. So I think all are slightly tipping in my favor, but I'm going to lean more on the side of development. Let's just castle. And now that the bishop has played to f5, am I cool with bringing up my bishop? I think I want to go here. Any fancy stuff with knight here? I could take the queen. This is not checkmate. I'll play bishop g4, and I'm prepared to give my bishop up for the knight. Alright, let's get my bishop on the long diagonal. d4 can be met with first c5, and I win a pawn next. Let's castle. Be looking at c5. I'm seriously considering just giving up what I referred to as my more important bishop, just to not waste any more time. And you got a check-in, some quick development, knight e4. I think I could even pick the dark square bishop back up if I really wanted to. In such an open position, when there's this non-developing move, I'm more inclined to just kind of get the move back and get on with throwing some more pieces into play. So from here, hello to Helikovsky in the chat. c5, knight c6. Let's do it. Now that knight b5 move could come in, but I'll be there just in time to defend d6 with my king bishop. So before I even castle, I think I want to take some steps to make the e4 strike more difficult. So let's play b5 and a quick bishop b7 before castles. So my opponent was really in the think tank with that last, or were they? I don't know. No, they didn't spend much time at all. Seems like it's been forever since it switched to this game. Anyhow, I need to take and then play e5. Let's play d3. Defend e4. Alright, so now if I take... Okay, I think I'm winning a pawn. No. Yeah, I am winning a pawn. Alrighty. So if I go here, how annoying is that pin? I could give a check as well. Could play knight e4. Let's throw that knight in a pin. That's I'm really happy to see that move. This could have been supported, I think. The quick castle, rook e1, a bishop move. So I'm not having to work around a pawn on e5. I could take with my queen, but I would prefer to take with the pawn, just so he doesn't get excited about the c5 square, and it takes out, it pretty much kills both knights in a way. Yeah. Okay. Might just grab some space. I still am on this pawn. I'm probably asking for trouble if I go here, but no. I am up a pawn. There isn't a b pawn, so let's maybe consider still knight a5. Queen a4 could be met with c6. I think it's unnecessary. This bishop is going to want to move anyhow. He'll just go here, and I'll have to do this kind of stuff. And I don't know if I'd even want to play b6. Let's just go back home. I'm fine with rerouting to c5. So now, I'm going to play knight b to d2. d5 is possible. I'm thinking about queen d2 and queenside castle. Also queen d2 and maybe bishop to h6. Yeah, let's go queen d2. Maybe heading for a kingside attack. Let's go e5 on pawn takes. It's even. I would even prefer to be black if they capture my pawn. So the idea is to meet pawn takes with knight g4. Now on that move, there still is this tension. Is there any fancy stuff here? Any tactics? I could go knight c6 or just pick up the pawn straight away. I like knight c6 because I would prefer to take on c5 with a new piece. He has to move anyhow. If I go here, they could go b4. Oh, it's interesting. I'll give them an option to maybe hang on to the c pawn. I'd get the center pawn. They might throw the f pawn down my throat. Let's see what they do. We're gonna find out. Hello, Shivers. And Hagelin. I'm doing all right. Well, that is a pawn duo. Let's put my knight in a position to support either e5 or c5. So in the end, they're going with b5, b4. So I have to get the pawn back. So let's do it. Yep. And in the end, well, I'm on the bishop right now, bishop on d3. So that move, huh? Well, are they preparing to hunt down my light square bishop next? Maybe. c3? Let's go c3. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I could take the bishop, and then when they recapture, I could take this guy. And they don't really have a lead in development, so I'm okay with going pawn hunting a little bit. That's not just any pawn that I would be capturing. That is what I have referred to many times as the heart of one side of the board or the other. In that case, it's the heart of the queenside structure. So without him, there are a lot of weaknesses. Now, I'm wondering if I can make use of f8 before castling. At the same time, I think when I do this, that little jab might bother me. Let's still start with this. I think he has to make use of that square anyhow. Let's point my bishop at their king against Blue Jay. He was the last one I picked. Well, I didn't pick. He's the last one that was randomly picked. Let's castle. I think that's a losing move. So I could take with check and follow up with knight e5. So if I take here, they have to take with the pawn. Taking with the queen, and it's basically game over. So are they prepared to have double isolated pawns? All right. I mean, I could also take here. Or even here. I think they're all good. Take here. And after pawn takes knight, I could take this guy and then here. Oh, yeah, why not do that? I'm winning the exchange. Although, what would concern me is bishop takes bishop, pawn takes knight, bishop takes rook, pawn takes pawn. There's compensation for white in that variation. I don't want this pawn to turn into Pac-Man and start influencing my queenside structure, influencing b7. So I'm just going to go with something that guarantees me some advantage. All right. If I go here, isn't my opponent going to cry a little bit? I think they're going to cry a little bit. Let's make my opponent cry. Pat, I'm trying to make you cry. I'm gonna bring the pain. You're gonna feel queen on g7 maybe one day. A little fork action. Let's take that knight. And my opponent is now going to lose a piece. Got forks everywhere. Okay, so it's a big moment. I want to strike at this pawn duo. One of these two. What's it going to be? Can't let these guys sit here forever. You're too good. Need to make them flinch. Let's go with e5. Put a pawn in the center. That's a good move. That also addressed a potential rook e8 with check. I don't know how great this guy is. Tall pawn, currently. He could turn into a beast, though, in some way. Alrighty. What are my candidate moves? Here, here. Maybe here, here, here. Oh, maybe I think about the f4 square. Yeah, let's throw a knight on c6. I'm obstructing my c pawn. Okay, so they don't want to they don't want this stuff? Let's ask him a question. Alrighty. So I'm up a pawn currently, 8 pawns to 7. I've also been playing pretty slow. Let's take and get on with development. Let's eye up that weakened square. Okay, he knows his place. Let's get there, rook. A voluntary retreat. What are you scared of? What are you afraid of, huh? d4 with an attack? A preemptive move. Is that what you're throwing at me? Preemptiveness by 3 nice guys. Well, I could play bishop here. I don't know if it's worthwhile to provoke h6. I don't think it is. So, I would prefer to just challenge him right away. Give me the f-file. Alright, bishop e7, castles. Alright, that's a welcome sight. So now I have the bishop pair and I'm up a pawn. I may want to take with my knight, because the direction I want to go is with f5. Maybe he emerges on c5. Well, let's go with the knight. I don't know how much of a developing move a bishop on d7 is anyhow. That's a pretty weakening move, Blue Jay. You got 2 bishops breathing down the king's side. Alright, before castles, I think I'm going to play here. And now I am prepared to play a quick e4. I could take en passant and get accused of cheating by some. Or I could keep the pawn here and say, where's this knight going? Yeah. Alright, we're gonna try and show that that b pawn is a pest. And say, where you going, knight? What's your plan? What are your future plans? Let's castle. And follow up with e6. So I've given up the bishop pair, and I need to make sure d5 break does not hit. Feels like they declared that queen awfully early. Can I really take advantage of that? Let's start with the rook here. Maybe I take, maybe I push. I'm going to keep you guessing. Let's castle. You went back home. My opponent was not too good for their home. Let's take here. That's a piece. Alright, there's some time that's being wasted here. H6, bishop here. Both are not inviting new pieces to the party. Where's Yasar Seirawan? Where is he? Alright, e4 straight away, or castles and then e4. I'll go castles. I can't do without that. Hang on. Yeah, let's castle. Alright, what's the big idea here? You're looking to get forked with e5, maybe, at some stage. Let's start with this. Secure c6, and then play knight b to d7, prepare e5. So rook to e8, they're... maybe this was... No, they probably could have taken advantage of some pin if I was trying to get my queenside working first. Maybe this is a fine move. Looking for this. If bishop takes pawn, I have that. This would also prevent knight f3. They don't have as easy time of developing. I'm going to do that. Alright, so... castles or bishop takes g7? Let's get rid of that guy. Alright, I'm prepared to give up my bishop for that knight. Keeping the tension. Where else is he going to go? Let's go knight. Stopping knight c5. Alright. You're foiling all my plans. I may still go there. I am not doing a very good job with my clock management. That's a first. Alright. I guess in the end, maybe I still end up blocking my pawn. Maybe I don't want to go here, and now I say you're biting on a rock. Alright, well, let's just take a pawn, hit the queen, and stop any fancy discovered checks. Let's play e4. I'm going after their king. Queenside castle, bishop g4. Throw some heat on the knight first. Alright, maybe I have to resolve this tension. It's starting to concern me a little bit that black may be able to get away with taking a pawn. So just resolve the tension first and still think about an attack. Let's do that. Alright. So I could go in for this. Bishop takes pawn, rook here. You take my b pawn, I take yours. I think in the end I'm the one who benefits. Also, I have this in mind. The knight is within checking distance. Let's get on with this. Hang on. Let's forget about development for a moment. What about c4, knight d3, some direct stuff? Let's give that a shot. What do I do here? Take the bishop, knight g5. Take the bishop, take both bishops, knight g5. h3, super universal move. Let's take this guy first. Threatening a fork. They're maintaining that tension. Hazard. Bagel Thief, thank you for the resub. 2 months in a row for you. Thank you. You are welcome, Tsunami of Pawns. It's good to be back. It's the first stream of the new year. So Busy time, busy time of the year. So, glad to be back. Alrighty. Under 10 minutes. You better kick it into a higher gear, buddy. Alrighty. Any way to take advantage of this rook being unprotected? Is my opponent playing in a hazardous way? Let's start with c6, and now maybe I go e4, d5 if they're not... let's just kill c5. I gotta go faster. Opponent's allowing me to develop with an attack. Alright, I'm still jumping in. They are now going uncastled. So I can still hold on to that pawn. Let's do it. And potentially pin the knight to the rook. Traitor. You just want the queens off. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have any attack anyhow. Alright. So much for trying to make my opponent cry. Let's take that knight. Where do you want to be, bishop? Choose your diagonal. Carefully. Well, I go here. No. We're just gonna baby step it. I want to stay opposite where I think your king is going to soon be. Throw a knight in the center. How else are you improving your position here? Queen move? She doesn't know her place. Who are you kidding? Let's maybe threaten to damage the structure. Knight move, huh? Working on the knight moves. Alright, let's play in the center. d4 it is. What's this queen up to? Now that the bishop is not here, knight f4 can be a pretty pesky move, no? I'm not afraid of queen c6. I'll shoo her away with bishop d7. I'm up a piece. Let's get on with development here. Good move, good move, good move, good move. Let's take away the one square that's maybe a bother to me. Let's play there. Now, how can we punish my opponent? I could take this pawn. Be up 2 pawns. Yeah, why not? Grab another pawn. I don't know where he belongs yet. Why don't I know that? Let's play here. d6 or e7. Half open file. Ooh, nice move. Nice move. Gives up this square. There's now a pivot square for that knight. That's a good move. Alrighty. Well done. I'll take and then play knight here in this game. Well, I have a center that I could set into motion here. Let's start with a5. Yeah. Queen or pawn? I'm going to take with the pawn. I like activating my rook. Oh, actually, instead of that rook move, I could have snipped that knight one move earlier. I think there's too much stuff focused over here on my queen side. c5 is never happening. Meanwhile, I think I'm close to having some mating attack on the other side of the board. Take out that tall pawn if I want. Could take him whenever, but let's still go here. I like my knight better than their bishop. So they're threatening to take here. They've undermined my my attempts over here on the queen side to kind of strand that knight. Huh. Alright, I guess I have to take here. Let's not retreat too far. Let's point at that side. Alright. So you finally flinched a little bit. Let's take with the pawn. I somehow didn't see that was a move. Huh. Well, I could take and then focus on the c5 square some. I'm going to shoot for that. No, let's not be too quick. Yeah, let's take. Bishop takes pawn, or just knight here? Let's just go knight here. I'd be happy to see them grab another pawn back. Alright, Pat, what's the story, man? Can you help me undouble my pawns, maybe? Getting undermined. Let's take. Let's just secure that knight. It's not afraid of that. Queen is close to trapped. Let's see if my pawns get undoubled. Alright. Took with the knight first, huh? Okay. The other player may have left the game. I'm not claiming victory on that. That could be a connection issue. We're going to take and maybe focus on c5. Let's take with the pawn. We move forward. What's that move about? Trying to play bishop e3, maybe. Let's stop some b4 expansion. Alright, I'm going to take this moment now that things have gotten into a technical phase. I would really like to have my pawns undoubled. Let's go for it. Okay. b4, knight b3, knight c5 is where I want to be. Here, queen d3, f3, you double, knight b3. I'm cool with that. Let's get b3 in. I want my knight on c5. Okay, now I have bishop c5. What's that move about? I'm on the queen. I could take the queen here. Alrighty. Pawn takes knight. Bishop takes queen. Let's take the queen. Now I know where it belongs. Bishop b4. Yeah, bishop e7 it is. Let's take with the bishop and hit the queen. I don't have this square anymore. They did a good job. A couple of games, my opponents are doing a good job on the queen side. Don't know if that was the best spot. I could end up in a pin on the e-file. He's annoying. This piece I wanted to work against is now a pest. Let's challenge him. Alright, suppose I take here and then here now. Let's do it. I think I'm winning a pawn. Where's the mate? Let's throw the queen out. Three nice guys is going for it. Oh, man. One thing I did not appreciate here is that f3, rook here, knight here is met with queen e3, check, and there goes my queen. Oh, man. This could spell trouble for me. Man. f3 here, rook f2. Rook here. Queen here. And then can I sneak this in? I think I could. Here, queen here, rook f2. Rook here, queen here. I think I'll be fine. I think I could get this in. I think it's barely working. Barely. Snip a pawn. I don't like my decision here. To play queen e8 instead of queen d7. Silly. All right. Let's put the bishop there. Could take here. Win some material right now with take with the knight. I did not anticipate that move. Maybe I should have played e5 first. Alrighty. Okay. Well, here rook takes, bishop takes, rook takes, pawn takes, bishop back, rook here. Get the pawn back. Let's try for this. I think their bishop's too good. Although bishop e6 is a fine reply. Scratch it. How about bishop e2? Maybe g4. Alrighty. c6, queen here. There's that stuff. Could also play bishop here. Could also castle. Let's castle. We're taking with the knight. My opponent's going to get mated very soon now. This pawn is pinned. My queen is hit. Ah, man, I don't like how I played those last couple moves. Silly. Opponent's pieces are swarming in. I'm new to this. You got pins. Let's try that. Rook or pawn? I don't know. Let's take with the pawn. Knight b6 into d5. Alrighty. I'm getting outplayed in many of these games. Let's try knight b6. Alright. Did not expect that move. Interesting. Huh. Interesting move. They might end up with two minor pieces for the rook. I have to go so much faster and I'm not. Good move. I like it. Alright, let's go here. Can I get into that square? Let's start with queen here. I think it's important. I think this is a must move to block and defend my knight. And now that's mate. Alright, good game, Dale. And now they have a quick follow-up with c5. Wow. Squashing my plans of my knight one day camping out there. Shame on you. Why won't you let me follow through with my plan? Still gonna try for it. If I go here right away, No, this pin is annoying. No, and not queen here. What's the matter? I want to keep my rook on the A file. Queen here. Okay, that's the first. I like seeing that move because we're going to take and play E5, I think. Let's put my knight into F4. All right, so yeah, I'm just going to take and get some play on the queen side. Now, what do we do? Well, I think I could play here, because if they take once, I'm going to be on that knight, my queen. So I'm looking at this stuff. Also, with this move, I'm prepared to take out the knight. I think this is the correct way forward. Let's do it. And let's continue. The queen side, recapture. B3. Oh my goodness. B3. B3, B3, B3. Alright, let's bring a bishop out. Let's castle. If I take with the knight, I'm on their knight. Let's do it. Let's take with the rook and give check. They probably okay. Let's offer some exchanges. Alrighty. Where's this knight belong? I guess here. You're giving me the dark square bishop. Whoa. That's a surprise? They should have kept it doubled. Alright, I should strongly consider getting some more development in here. What about here? Yeah, let's maybe finally get my light square bishop working. All right, let's take some stuff. I was expecting them to capture here. All right. Let's go in there. I could take here, but no. Let's see. What are they doing with the knight now? All right. Let's give that check. Alrighty. They have a simple plan of just doubling. Their bishop is better than mine. Alright. Not fun. Not fun. I guess we start with this. Alrighty. Keep the queens on. Yeah. I want some more trades. Let's go knight b6 into d5. Alright, my big plan was to take here and then take on d4. Let's do that. Oh, they didn't block. That's different. How about... Let's go here. I want to try to keep the queens on. No. Bishop takes knight? No. Let's go here. This is happening again. The other player may have left. Why are you leaving? Why do they keep leaving? Alrighty. Could go here. I'm trying to find a stable square for my knight. I could do this kind of stuff, but what concerns me is this maneuver, and they're going to have constant pressure on b2. It's just not fun. I may need to go in here, take, here, rook takes pawn, rook d6. I think I need to try that. Their knight is going to be too much of a pest. It's just how it is. Let's take him out. And yeah, let's go here. Offer queen exchange, also with an eye on the clock. Let's take here. Queen exchange offer. Do I really want that? Nah, let's keep him on. Queen e7, development. Okay. I don't want a queen exchange. I do want a pawn, though. Let's take him. Grab another pawn. Pac-Man. Let's do it. Fine with that. Okay. Now it's interfering with this. Bishop g4, but still. If I go here, I'm hitting this pawn here, and then this. I really want to get rid of that knight. No, still here. I can move my knight and have my bishop support that. If I take the knight, they take my bishop. I could do this first and then take the knight. But I want more. I want more. Let's go here. And fork. I'm still up a pawn in that game. Gotta recapture. How many games are left, if you're wondering? There's only one game finished. I'm still playing 11. Throw a knight in there. Okay, I missed that. Am I in trouble? The rook here. Show me. Show me. All right. This was all calculated. They knew they were going to get those 2 pawns back. I was up 2 pawns for a moment. Alrighty. Queen trade. Let's start putting the bishop here. I gotta pick up the pace. Let's get moving. Opponent's offering a draw. I'm gonna play it out, even though I'm no better. Okay. We'll take the queen and say, no soup for you. Oh. What's that move about? Gotta take with the knight. Okie dokie. Could jump in right now. Let's start with this, though. I need some more support for that. This knight is going into no man's land. Let's take that pawn with check, and then queen takes f5. Of course! Alright, just start pushing some pawns and see what happens. Ha! Oh, man. Okay. Alright. I'll give you the exchange, because I have to. I'll give you the exchange because I have to. Now, I am struggling in this one. My bishops are both biting on rocks. Not fun. Here's the plan. This is a very awkward way to go about it, but queen f3, bishop e2. You don't even want to go after this pawn, do you? Amazing. It's just a slow death. Tough crowd, man. Tough crowd we got here today. I feel like I need to play rook a5. Otherwise this, and then it's just a simple pickup. Alright. Show me how it's done. Oh, I was expecting that. That's a very odd capture. Alright. Let's take a rook. Take this pawn. Whew. And let's start with rook takes rook, and then get the rook behind my passed pawn, so careful, careful, careful. Stay out of any checking moves, or forking moves. Alrighty. Let's kind of soften up the queen side a little bit. Let's go here. Again, I'm no better in that game. Alright, well, I guess if you're gonna do it like that, let's give a check first. They're threatening mate on g7 if I get too excited about my rook moving. Let's improve the king. Alrighty. Gonna camp out on f4. Defend the pawn. Gotta keep material on. Oh, that's a welcome sight. Let's take towards the center. Let's throw the knight here. Look for a push in the knight g4. What, are you nervous? Bishop e2? Thank you to Sergeant Bouncer. Appreciate the support, Sergeant Bouncer. If I take here, I'm on the rook, but they're going to push this pawn. Let's go here first. Let's hit that knight. Now I think I'm ready to exchange queens. Oh, actually, this was a very good move by me because the knight takes the queen, I get the bishop on g2. Let's take first, open up the a-file. Take with the king, improve him. I still want to keep an eye on f4. And now probably this is a good idea. Also paving the way for my c-pawn to go there. Let's do it. Where's the mate? Start with the rook on the second. Killing all my ideas. Suppose I go here, though. That'll make you cry. Queen e3. Okay, so we're going into mass exchange land. Or are we? I might want to keep a rook on the board. What about b6? You gotta make that guy flinch. Oh my goodness. Precision. Precision. Got everything covered, man. Everything. I tried telling this player that I have to keep queens on the board, but they insist. These trades, no. Enough. Enough of that. Here and then here. If I go here, maybe b4. I don't have time. Let's try it. Alrighty. So we trade once and then juke the rook. I want to keep some material on. Ah, they didn't take my queen back. Where's the mate? Less than a minute. Get out of here. You're just too scary. Half open file. Queen here. What about rook here? Let's see how you feel about that. I want to get an e3. I need to keep some material on. There you go. Give me the file. There you go. Hit him with a check. They're going uncastled. Let's open this baby up. How do we do that? How do we do that? Let's go here. Maybe knight f8, g6. Where's that knight going? We got some pigs. Let's check. Alrighty. Alright, we're going to take. They're offering a draw. No. Precision. Precision. Another offer of an exchange of queens. No. No, no, no. How about here? Isn't this painful? Shouldn't this be a painful move? It should be. Let's see if my opponent's going to flinch. Rook to c6. Who plays rook to c6? No, no one plays rook to c6. Let's try that. Now I take here. Let's do it. Alrighty. Let's take here. Take there. Go here. Take here, go there. Queen exchange. Queens are going to be off. It's an ending. I'm up a pawn. I like him so much, I'm going to hang on to him. Is that really true? No, we're not going to weaken my king like that. We're going to improve a rook. The pawn push, queen f4. Get out of there, knight. I have to start moving faster. A lot faster. A lot faster. Oh man, a lot faster. Alright. This game is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. What's wrong with taking this knight? Run pawn. Wow. Maybe I don't want a queen trade anymore. No. Need to control b4. Improve my king. Let's give a check. Now what do I do? My bishop playing. Take this knight. Oh man. Alright, let's try to break down that pawn. You're running scared. Let's push. Take the knight, get a queen. Mate in one. Got a queen. I still don't want a queen trade. Threatening mate in a couple, no? Do you have a bishop on g2? Interesting. Let's go here. Alright, let's grab a pawn. There, huh? Let's go h6. Let's get my queen here. a5, b4. How about I just put my bishop here and then maybe bishop a4, yeah. Bishop a4. Bishop here. Queen's guarding it. If they push e4, my dark square bishop comes to life. Let's take. Okay, that is mate. Okay, another game is done. Let's give this check. Let's play here. I want to play knight there. And let's do this. Hunt down that A pawn. What's that knight gonna do? How about this and then rook on the 7th? Alright, let's get in c6. I could take this pawn with check. Alright, we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna put constant pressure on that bishop wherever he goes. They're on my rook, I didn't realize that. Just gonna take and then break up their structure over here. Okay. Maybe my rook belongs over here. This lined up. Sidestep that. No stalemates. This was my idea. And let's just give a couple checks. Let's get that move in. No. No trades. Let's give this check. Another check. Did I have 13 seconds in that game? Oh, they're giving me that bishop. Let's check. It's mate in a couple. How many games left? There's still 9 games going. Okay, I'm looking for pigs. Let's see how you deal with the pigs. Let's give this check, and it's mate next move. Let's go here. See how they react to that. Don't know if I'm even threatening. My rook might get trapped. That's mate. GG. 8 games still going. Let's go here. So if I do this, there's that. Got it all worked out. Let's go here. Am I afraid of bishop takes knight? Maybe. Okay. I'm kind of getting scared. Both of their bishops there. Let's take now. Gotta go fast. Pigs are on board, baby. An exchanging machine. We're gonna play that one out. They have the light squares, I have the dark. Am I losing a pawn here? Target c5. Run, pawn. Are you trying to mate me? Is that what you're up to? No. We're gonna go here. Strike at your bishop. Alright, let's have some fun. Give some checks. Shoo. Alright, scoop up that pawn. 8 games still going. Oh, another attacker entering the mix. Scary. It's very scary. I'm not scared. Alright, bishop here now. What about bishop here? Throw a punch at that pawn. My opponent close to getting mated with the king. Shouldn't my opponent be a little scared of mating nets? Check with a pawn while grabbing a pawn. Let's go here. Alrighty. Well, I could exchange and then go here and pick up some material. Let's try that. Okay. Hmm. Here? Yeah. You have that kind of fancy stuff, but this is what I was preparing to do to defend. Gotta recapture. Alrighty. Let's go here. Don't know if that was the best rook to take with. Let's improve my king. Um, Actually, let's do this. I like the move that I made, because there's that move. And now, can I get at this point? I could do this, and then king here. That seems fine. Something more direct? I don't have much time. I like my queen placement. Let's start with this. Let's just squash their one plan, which is queen h3 into g2. So we're going to go with this rook, and he's going to mop up the g pawn. He's going to stay trained on the c pawn. King and pawn endgame, huh? I'm going to still keep the knights on. 6 games remaining. So I think we had a couple of resigns. I'm able to bank some more time with this. Okay, so let's not forget we could maybe give mate with the rooks on the G and H files. How about we start with that? Pick up another pawn. Alrighty. Gonna take here. Wow, really hammering away. Am I fast enough? We're gonna find out. Ooh, 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 ooh. They're ready to take here, and then this, and then that. I think I have to play this move right now. So there we go. G6 first. This was my idea to go here. And now what about B6? I gotta take some preventative measures against C5. Where are you going, rook? You're scaring me. He needs to do something else. How about here? Preparing bishop takes pawn. Alrighty. Let's not allow that pawn to even think about exchanging himself off. Okay. I'm gonna take this guy. Gotta recapture. Even material. Interesting imbalance. How about... Well, let's just get the knight in a better spot. I'm gonna go here. I want to keep this rook here, so there isn't some like mating net against my king. I want to keep him here. So we're gonna go here. I still don't want to trade. We're gonna go here. Keep him in this key 16 square area. Thought you might do that. But maybe now that he's no longer here, I could just mop this guy up. Yeah, why not? Ooh, fancy. Oh yeah? What about the old retreat move? Here, rook takes queen here. I have that covered. Let's try this. See what they do about that. Well, I have to make headway on this side of the board, so let's finally crack through with the b4. Queen trade now? Let's go for it now. Improve the king? Thought you might do that. Let's hunt down this pawn while you're hunting down my g-pawn. How many more games? Still 6 going. 6 over, 6 going. Any sacks here? I think there's close to some sacks happening. My one move too short? Yeah, that's close to being a violent sacrifice here. What about bishop here right now, though? Yeah, I think that could save. I think this is an important defensive move. Right now, I think it needs to happen. Where are you headed, knight? Right here? Let's just kill that first. Interesting. Alright, so there's this here, right? So maybe knight here first. Let's do that. Throw a punch at the rook. Improve the king? Maybe I improve the king as well. I really would like to have that, but it's just not there. I could take here and then play knight here. Here, take. I really want my king a little bit closer. Let's get my king a little bit closer. And also probably in this one I should get a little bit closer. I want to target f4 next. Possible. 5 games, so another one is over. 5 games remaining. They're throwing the h-pawn at me now. So suppose I take and then play queen here. Am I not winning something? I want to see them take me so I could take and throw a punch. Not too much more I could do over here on the king side to defend, I don't think. So let's carry on with capturing. Alright, I could even go here, but no, now I'm asking for some knight b5 checks. Let's not do that. Maybe now is the time for this in knight c5. Actually, another type of maneuver I could look into is this, and maybe I go for that right now. Though, if I do this right now, this is probably annoying. Why, though? I don't have much time. Let's try for this maneuver. Queen b2. Let's see what they do about that. Okay, I feel like I could mate white soon. Like here and then some fancy endgame study. I could even take this pawn. What am I talking about? I could take this pawn. What's wrong with taking this pawn? And then this type of stuff. They just gave up a pawn. Alright, well, suppose I throw some punches at that bishop. This is still just barely held together. They have some issues on their back rank if the rook gets excited to give checks. I have this square. They don't have that luxury. They'd have to block with the bishop. Let's get active with my rook. And now I think I could at least win a pawn. Rook takes pawn. I have queen checks here then. Let's start with this. They're going to take my rook and then go queen here, but they're going to get mated. My queen could get in here. No, she wouldn't be there anymore. What are you talking about? Maybe king here first. Let's do this first. Thought you might do that. Let's attack the knight. Queen takes pawn. I think I've successfully defended. Get my knight on d6. Cancel out their knight pretty well. Exchange queens first. Yeah, let's make sure the queens are off now. before, yeah, let's get my knight here. Preparing f5 now if they don't take. I like my knight position. Let's recapture. I've successfully defended on the king side in that one. 4 games remaining now. So I'm up a pawn in this one, and there is no attack. So what this means is that the rook is not unprotected. The rook is misplaced. Taking out my knight and then my bishop is the plan. I could take their bishop and then take the pawn. Prefer not to work around this pawn, but I am winning a pawn. Also helping out the rook a little bit. Alright, I don't have time to work out all the details. Let's take the bishop. Opposite color bishop ending. Alright, here's what we're going to do. I think I'm going to take the pawn here. Yep. I'm prepared to sack the exchange. I should still insist on harassing that bishop, the one who's the defender. Of their knight. My knight position concerns me. So much so that I'm not a fan of even picking up the a-pawn right now. I want to make sure he could get activated. No. We're going to grab the pawn. I have h5, and then I could be assured that my knight will get to f5. There's no fear of g4. Let's take. I have ideas of this if the knight gets too excited, undermining the structure and then crashing through. If they do this, then it's static. I have a fluid center over here. So this was my plan to neutralize this pressure over here. Just to give him up. There's that move. I should have started with h5. Okay, I could still go here, though, because if this knight f5 and this pawn cannot be defended, so I'm alright with that. Fianchettoed knight. 4 games still going. That's a check. Let's go here. No fancy mates that I see. And still there's this issue of, what are they doing with the bishop? And I got all these squares covered now. So are they not dropping another pawn? Also, this rook has a defensive role. He can't go too far. He's not playing so far. Okay, so it's static structure. So now I could look to mobilize my 4 versus 2. This knight controls this pawn, and these 2 control these 3. I want to make sure I can maintain my knight. I don't want to see this move. If this, I could have my king replace my knight as the defender of this passed pawn. I think it's important I start with this move. Well, I don't know. Important? Yeah, probably. Let's take this pawn. I'm up 2 pawns now, but they're giving me the bishop. Was there just not a good way to save the material then? I guess not. Okay, my rook, there's no longer this idea to break down the structure, so he needs to do something else. And he's probably needed to support this pawn, because I don't want to move him. I like keeping control of all 4 squares, so let's start with this. Okay, so let's welcome some exchanges. I have this square covered. The light square bishop is not playing. Rook here is a good start with bishop here as a follow-up. Let's do that. Okay, so my plan was to snip this guy. Have a passed h-pawn. Let's do it. We're taking here. My bishop will be perfect on e3. Master defender. Might want to start with this move. Yeah. because if I go here, there's this and then that, and I just want to be assured that my knight has a square, and h4 seems to be that square. Just g6 for starters. They could eliminate my knight, who's the sole defender of f5. 4 games remaining. I want one rook off. I want my king like up here. Don't know how I manage that though. Let's start with this, just in case they try to eliminate my knight. Alright, let's give this check. I'm banking some more material now. You'd have to go here and actually be double checkmate. Actually, it's going to be mate no matter what. I'm winning the bishop at least. King has to go to the corner. King f1, this is double checkmate now. So there's 3 games remaining. Don't know why it's not jumping over to a new game. Okay, there we go. Maybe only now I play here. Not a fan of giving up this square, though. Maybe, I want my king here, I think. The rooks are going to be really fast to get on the g-file. Maybe I should have done this instead of the rook move. My king is, my king needed to be over here. Alright, this is going to look pretty weird, but I'm going to go rook g8. Knight f5. Yes, 3 games. I think I can manage 3 games time-wise. Okay. Well, maybe I do this, and I want to force them to. Well, hang on, maybe. Maybe I go here. If knight b5, I have f4 and then e5. Now, I saw that this might be an idea, but on f4 I take the bishop. I really want to take here, but then there's rook takes pawn. Maybe I could allow that, but no. I want to keep this as my shelter for my king. So we're just going to plant the bishop here and then somehow improve my queen slowly. Actually, my bishop could be posted here. This will be a very harmonious setup. My bishop will glue in my structure perfect. Let's get this in here. I want to force this pawn's hand. I would really like to see the g-file open up. So throw some heat on the g4 pawn. They have a pass pawn here, connected pass pawn, so I have to be. I don't want to allow white to have some nice, let's say, blockade against my pawn. So that's why I'm hesitant to push either. I need to improve my king. I need to improve my king in this one as well. There's no reason to give up my pawn. Let's just get a piece playing. Rook a7, king g7, king g6, h5. Where's their bishop go? That's productive. Could strike here, but that's easily defended. Okay, so they're undermining my knight. I could play here, though. Let's do that. If g3, I have a check. Trying to get in here. Okay, this is a good move, definitely. This cuts off the rook's influence on that square, so it's the big moment right now. So I guess on this check, there's going to be king here. I think I should start with that check. Let's do it. This pressure is too much here. I think I must start with that. And I'm doing this before making this commitment to take the knight, because I want to maybe be able to do this with check, or at least, stop king here. If I did this capture and then push, there would be the king going here. So I'm going to get this check in while my knight is still controlling e4. 3 games remaining. Ooh, and now that's running into a fork. I think they got a little too ahead of themselves there. So I could land a fork. And I should. They resigned. I think they still should have played it out a little bit, but... Ooh. I did not even consider that move. I didn't even consider them giving the exchange back. Oh man, that's a good move. There's 2 games left. I totally overlooked that one. Well, I got a take. Man, I thought I was going to have a much easier time. That was a good move. Ah, man. I wanted it to be so much smoother. It could have been. Could have been so much smoother. Now they're on this. I think I have to get rolling with my pawns. He's got a passed pawn, though. I don't like doing this. I need to calculate now. I could have played a position where I didn't have to calculate. Ah, man, I didn't see that one coming. Nice shot. Well, what could I do? All right, we're gonna get my queen in a position to give some checks. Maybe they get nervous. That's what I'm banking on. Hope your opponent gets nervous, that's all. Great strategy, man. So what were you planning on doing in this position? Hoping my opponent got nervous. Wonderful, man. Wonderful. All right, King, step up. Be a contributor. All right, it's a big moment. Do I go check happy? Is it time to go check happy? Maybe we push the pawn right here and look for a check and a mate. Let's go, H-pawn. You need to help out, buddy. You haven't done anything since what move? Play. Be a contributor. 2 games left. All right. If he goes here, it's unprotected, so maybe there's some fancy way I give a fork to both. There's a lot that black would need to calculate. Do I even know who's what color? 4 minutes remaining. 140 for me. Marcos KWKM, thank you for the resub of 4 months now. Happy New Year to you as well. All right. Here we go. Rook is under fire. I think this is a simple way to approach it. Offer an exchange of rooks, but why? If I go here, there's that. Okay, this gives me a pawn, either the G pawn or the E pawn. So on this take, okay, so where is a fork? Okay, I should be able to pick this guy up with the queen F5 move. Though in the end they get this guy. Do they? Maybe now I do this, though. Give a check first. No, I want to keep my queen here defending. Let's go one more step. Mate in 2. Watch out. Be very careful. Okay, I think there's a simple defense. Let's see if they go with it. Got to recapture. Maybe that pawn got ahead of himself there. That H pawn. Alright, let's take this one. I think the E5 pawn will be picked up whenever I want. My opponent resigned here, so I have many ways to just scoop him up, and then I'd have a boatload of pawns on the king's side, so there's now officially one game remaining. I guess it's still my opponent's move in it. The game against Pat. Pat resigned, I think, a little too early. I mean, okay, I was going to get active, but rook and pawn endgames, yeah, maybe it was resignable. Okay, this is the last game. My opponent's still in the think tank. Last one. Let's see what Blue Jay comes up with. Oh, that move? Okay, so I guess I'm never getting the B pawn, but whose pawn is actually faster? If I go here, the king has to... If I go here, the king has to go to F7 or F8. Otherwise, it's the ball game. It's a race. Are we going to see 4 queens on board? I feel like I should start with queen g5, but this isn't a play it by field position. This is crunch the numbers, man. This is a crunch the numbers, man position. Be exact. Queen g5, king f7, queen g7, king here. Push. Let's do it. Think I'm gonna have to, run with my king. I'll allow this, I'm going to have to allow, I think, queen takes pawn with check. I would really like to have my queen a bit more central before I advance my pawn, but I don't think I could really pull that off. I could go here and then push, queen takes pawn, but I don't know, my queen... Don't know how I feel about my queen position. Less than 40 seconds. Let's start with this check. I could give a check here as well. Let's do that. No, hang on. I just banked 30 seconds, so... See, maybe I could play it where I allow the queen and I still use this as some shelter, so maybe I don't want to give up my f-pawn. You know? Can I give a check somehow, have my queen defend f2 and only then push? If I could get my queen on f7 with check, defending here and supporting that, I think that would be ideal. Maybe I could try for it. Let's start with queen check here. Let's see where the king goes. Where are you going to go, Blue Jay? Totally caught me off guard, this exchange sack on c5. As mentioned, it went from a position that would require very little calculation on my part to one where it has to be calculated. Because I was going to establish a perfect structure, my bishop defending here and then here, and I would have a perfect shelter for my king. There was no fear of an attacking against my king, and black would have to really be careful. So you're going there, huh? Let's give let's give a check here. I'm defending my f-pawn now, but I'm not helping to support h7. Let's see what the king does. Go to a bad square, king. Okay, so I'm able to get what I wanted, which was a queen on f7 with check. Defending f2, supporting h7. So now I'm prepared to push next. I think I'm winning now. I think it was maybe best for him to return here. I think that this is the best that I can do with my queen. So I can't do any better with my queen. Let's get pushing. We're going to have 4 queens on board, but I'll be on move. Also, there is no queen here because what's the third thing she's doing? I'm just noticing now. She's applying pressure to b3. So here we go. Maybe, well, it's probably best that I get the queen and then consider all the different possibilities. So let's get on with it. 4 queens in this final game on board. You don't get to see this too often. So there should be a fancy way to win this now. Kind of circling with my queens. Let's see. 4 queens on board. Who's the least active? The one in the corner. Let's improve her first. How? Well, we're going to start with this. There's no way to interpose. I'm also in a position where if I needed to, I maybe have a waiting move. Well, not a waiting move, a quiet move, one that doesn't give check. Because I have some shelter for my king. Though, there is this and then here if I'm not careful, but I should be able to check my way out to victory, I would think. I could maybe even actually exchange both queens and win the king and pawn endgame. Forgot that that was even a possibility, so there's a definite win here. So if I go here and the queen blocks, I could exchange queens and win the king and pawn endgame. But there still should be this here, queen takes pawn first. Let's do that. He has to like go here. Or does he? He has to allow me to take this pawn with check. I should be able to force both queens off. At the very least. Computer would find the mate, but what's simplest is to go into some variation like this. I'll look for a mate. If I'm not able to find it, I'll just pick up the pawn. Okay, so now... Yeah, this is going to be mate though, right? I just come over here. Our queens are perfectly symmetrical now. B1, B8, C2, C7. He must go here now to be able to interpose with the queen. But I'm winning a queen now. King here, queen check, queen block. I could at the very least take the queen and then take the queen here. Has to go there. And I could go here as well. And I might as well approach the king. Queen has to block. I'm just going to spend a moment or two to see if I could find a mate. If not, I'll just win the queen and they'll probably resign. What a finish to this one, huh? Certainly different. Let's see what the Blue Jay does. There's only one move in the position now. They just resigned. At the very least, I could take and then take the queen and win from there. Maybe there was even a mate. Here. No, I don't know that there would even be a mate because there's always some block. So maybe that is the best. Interesting endgame. Wow. Very interesting group of three games. 12 games to this one. To the 12 of you that took part in this. Good games all. It has been a while for a simul. All right.